Coming up next, they have a combined 62 knockouts in 75 fights. Both can change or end a fight on a single punch. The critics agree. Acelino Freitas versus Diego Corrales is a chance to be one for the books. Will it live up to expectations? At stake, the WBO Lightweight Championship. Diego Chico Corrales, a former world champion who has most definitely chosen not to rest on his laurels. 5 months ago, Corrales gained sweet revenge for a previous loss by outpointing Joel Casamayor here on Showtime. With that win came the WBO Junior Lightweight crown. But instead of making a soft defense or two, Corrales has opted for the hardest assignment possible, giving up his belt to rise in weight with a title fight against undefeated power puncher Acelino Freitas. It's difficult to determine who's looking more forward to this showdown, the fight fans or the fighters. If the recent junior lightweight division had to be defined by a geometric shape, it would be an unfinished triangle. Acelino Freitas and Diego Corrales won world titles and career-defining bouts over the talented Cuban Joel Casamayor. Now, these two sluggers will complete the triangle in the 135-pound division.
This is what people want to see. Why not? Two guys, young, in their prime, both world champions. And here's the kicker. The biggest punchers, pound for pound, in the world.
I met him for the first time at the press conference. He is a gentleman. You could tell he is a gentleman. We could become friends after the fight, the best of friends, but inside the ring there is no friendship. Inside the ring I am there to do my job and do it the way I know how.
Freitas is a Brazilian national hero and arguably its greatest fighter, who relies on his power and unorthodox attacking style.
We are going to use our punching power. One round has 3 minutes and one punch takes less than 1 second. So we will try to add up the punches and keep attacking.
He punches exceptionally well. But you know what? He's that awkward style. When you look at it on paper, you look at the way, when you fundamental-wise, you go, this is all wrong. But it's so wrong that it's right for him. Because it works.
At almost 5 feet 11 inches, Corrales has fought primarily at 130 pounds. And with 31 KOs, he's earned a reputation as a big puncher. Now he's moving up to vie for Freitas' 135-pound title.
He has what I want. He has what I need. And I'm going to take what I want. I'm not asking him for it. I'm coming to get it.
Goliath the giant was defeated by David, and he was very small. Why won't this giant fall down as well? Tonight he is not fighting just anybody. Tonight he is fighting a real world champion.
Over the years, both champions have earned our respect with their fists and our admiration with their hearts. But tonight, only one will stand victorious at the apex of this finally completed triangle.
I am probably one of the few rarities, one of the last few guys out there that will take whatever he has to take to win.
This is the fight everybody would like to see. It is a fight that the whole press would like to watch. Real champions are the ones who prevail over other champions. On this night, I will be a winner and a real champion.
Well, Freitas and Corrales are clearly eager to fight each other. For one of them, tonight will provide an age-old lesson. Be careful what you wish for. In fact, Freitas and his trainer, Oscar Suarez, have been eyeballing Corrales for years. A few months ago, they called Freitas' promoter, Artie Palullo, and said, "Get us Corrales. That's the fight we want." Well, here we are, moments away from a contest that will test Freitas and define him as no other fight has. Steve Albert back here ringside with my partner Al Bernstein. Well, Al, there of course are no guarantees, but Freitas versus Corrales certainly has the potential to be fight of the year.
Boy, it really does. And strangely, I will invoke the name of their joint nemesis, Joel Casamayor, to buttress this opinion. Joel brought out the best in both of them in some stirring matches, and that, I think, gives us the clue that Freitas and Corrales, in turn, will bring out the best in each other. I really think all three of these boxers are now linked in some symbiotic kind of a way. But for Corrales and Freitas, they are both explosive punchers who are themselves vulnerable to being hit and being put down. And yet, they have more than enough skills and heart to rebound known for that kind of trouble. And for boxing fans, that is an irresistible mixture. The Corrales camp thinks Freitas may box more, so Corrales will have to hunt him down. Freitas has been put down by good right hands, and Corrales has an excellent right. But I think the best weapon for him might be the left hook. Freitas will be throwing lots of jabs, and if they lay out there even for a moment, as this one did by Michael Davis against Corrales, Diego will counter with what is a very, very effective left hook. This is something Freitas can expect to see tonight. Acelino Freitas has quick feet and unorthodox movements. They'll serve him well in this match. Wide hooks, not a good idea. They could invite lethal counterpunches from Corrales. The right hand for Freitas is a very important weapon. It's a very powerful punch for him. He can use it as a counter from a low left hook and expect Corrales to throw that left hook to the body. The right hand from Freitas will be a key tonight in him trying to win this fight.
Will both be cautious and technical at the bell? Will the first bomb signal the start of the titanic battle many anticipate, or heaven forbid, will a boxing match break out? The answer's forthcoming. The challenger, one of the most feared pure punchers in the lighter weight classes, being greeted by a chorus of boos. The rangy, gritty, powerful Diego Corrales, returning to the scene of his split decision win over Joel Casamayor in March, avenging his bitter loss in the first fight. Corrales, though dropped in the 10th, was the aggressor throughout and fought a smart tactical fight in the rematch. 5-1 since the embarrassing setback to Floyd Mayweather in 2001, decked 5 times. He bounced back from personal problems, 14 months in jail for domestic abuse. Tough road back, but rebounded with 4 straight knockouts before the Casamayor fight. And here he is, making his way through the ropes. That crowd reaction will fuel him even more tonight.
He looks like a fired-up fighter.
Diego Chico Corrales doing a little shadow boxing before he has the real thing in front of him. That being Popo Freitas, it is Acelino Freitas time. It has been an emotional week for an emotional man. His wife had an emergency appendectomy this past Wednesday night. The father of his trainer, Oscar Suarez, suffered a stroke. However, happy to report both doing better. In fact, his wife, Eliana, is on hand tonight. But many anxious moments leading up to the biggest fight in the career of Acelino Freitas. of the most charismatic fighters in the world, Brazil's most significant champion of the past quarter century, a major star in his homeland. He has prepared for this moment like he has never prepared before. Undefeated Acelino Freitas, and he hears it from the crowd. He has fans all over the place. We are set to size him up as we check out the tail of the tape. Freitas will turn 29 next month. Corrales will be 27 in almost 3 weeks. Biggest disparity in height, where Corrales brings a 4.5-inch advantage. However, the reach almost even. You'd think Corrales would have the big A's. At yesterday's weigh-in, Freitas just under, Corrales right on. And the notable unified rules for this world title affair. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight is ruled a no decision. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecard. An electrifying atmosphere here at Foxwood Resort Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut, getting ready for Acelino Freitas versus Diego Corrales for the WBO Lightweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to Foxwoods Resort Casino here in Mashantucket, Connecticut, as we are ready for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Arthur Palullo's Banner Promotions in association with Gary Shaw Productions, Foxwoods, and Showtime. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBO President and Supervisor Francisco Valcarcel, along with the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation Athletic Commission. The chairman is Joseph Carter, vice chairman is Richard Butler, Commissioner Peter Timothy, and Executive Director Joe Letellier. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Michael Schwartz, Dr. Anthony Alessi, Dr. Joe Carpentieri, and Dr. Kevin McGuire. Our timekeeper at the bell, Phyllis Roy. Keeping count of the knockdowns, Roland Roy. Now introducing our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Brick, New Jersey, Tom Kazmarek. From Ardsley, New York, Melvina Lathan. And from Providence, Rhode Island, Dr. Clark Sammartino. And our referee in charge, he will be giving instructions after the introductions, Michael Ortega. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Lightweight Championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Foxwoods, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my right. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with black trim. He is fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Sacramento, California. He weighed in at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds even. His record stands at 38 wins, 2 losses with 31 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBO #1 lightweight contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former IBF and WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, introducing Diego Chico Corrales. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, wearing gold trunks with red trim. He is the pride of Salvador, Brazil. He weighed in at a ready 134.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 35 wins, no losses, 31 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBA undefeated WBO Lightweight Champion of the world, introducing Acelino Freitas. Once again, our referee in charge, Michael Ortega, now to give instructions.
Gentlemen, the trunks are high. From here up is good. Pantalones tan alto. Aquí arriba está bien. Buena seta los dos. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up. Toda la mano.
Immediately evident Corrales' size advantage. Freitas' take, not a problem. One of the best counter punchers in the business. Acelino Freitas told us he will exploit Diego Corrales with lateral movement using his foot speed. Popo is generally a fast starter. Chico has had difficulty with guys who move around a lot, like Mayweather and Casamayor, but he made the adjustments in the second Casamayor fight. A combination of two-fisted power, a leaky defense, questionable chin, and a terrific heart. A formula for fireworks. Won't be a surprise if both go down. This could be a tremendous fight.
You know, it's important to note that Freitas is coming in off a 7-month layoff, his second longest of his career. And for Corrales, this is the first right-hander he has fought in over a year. He fought Damian Fuller, then Joel Casamayor twice in a row, so he's seeing something he hasn't seen for a while.
Some nice left hooks there by Acelino Freitas. Another left hook. A major curiosity, what will happen if both Freitas and Corrales stand toe-to-toe and trade their best shots? We may see a double knockdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's happening here in round one. While it's true Freitas is moving, both men are sustaining the action. Somebody's going to get hit with a big shot soon.
And Freitas, very aggressive, with a left-right combination upstairs. And Freitas using a lot of side-to-side, a lot of lateral movement to try and confuse Diego Corrales.
Step back clean. Box.
Chico's trainer Joe Grusin felt that Freitas would be on his bicycle. Corrales said he wasn't so sure. But Chico, who's probably had the better level of competition, told us it would be a mistake for Freitas to come to war, feeling that he, Corrales, hits harder.
One thing that's happening early in this fight is Freitas is throwing a lot of left hooks, some very wide. That could be a very dangerous tactic for him as this fight goes on. He could easily be countered by Corrales.
And more recently, Freitas has become very awkward, herky-jerky, and unorthodox, which Corrales says he is ready for. Corrales looking to cut off the ring, use his jab and his hooks. And there's that side-to-side, frequently used by Freitas. Freitas walked into one, and then a left hook to the neck, but not much behind it. Freitas looking the better of the two here in the opening round thus far.
A little low.
There's a body shot with the left hand by Freitas. Freitas scoring more regularly. But as mentioned, Corrales' punches might have a little more sizzle to them right here.
Corrales has not he established the jab very well against Casamayor. And there you see it. If he uses that punch a little bit more, it'll help him find the range with the hooks and the straight right hand. But Freitas' movement, of course, is an issue in that regard.
Of course, Corrales' signature punch is the left hook. Very good right hand as well. And for Freitas, it's the right hand. And he just nailed Corrales with the right as they trade at the bell. Interesting first round.
Why was it beautiful? Tested him a little bit. You felt his powers. You got any power? Okay. That doesn't mean you get lazy with your defense. Okay? Start banging that jab. Start trying to find that a little bit more. You know he's going to come over it. When you get into a little slugfest with him there, do what you did. Come up the middle, keep that chin tucked. No sucker punches on you because your chin is tucked. Okay, you hurt him twice that round. You know that, don't you?
Acelino Freitas against the ropes. Now, he wants very much to land those counter right hands, and he landed a couple of them, despite the fact that he was wild with the punch. They did get in. That's what Freitas wants to land.
Got it.
Acelino Freitas has 19 knockouts within 2 rounds. Remember, he knocked out his first 29 opponents. Round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBO Lightweight Championship. Long-awaited showdown between Acelino Freitas and Chico Corrales. Big right hand by Freitas to the chin.
You know, that's something that's got to be a little alarming to the Corrales people. Earlier, before the right you just referenced, there was another one that landed by Freitas. I don't think they anticipated he could land those rights with that kind of regularity against Corrales.
Now Corrales moving in, stalking, but Freitas tying him up. Freitas very elusive. Every once in a while does get nailed. But he has been landing more. Left hand that got through by Acelino Freitas. A long left. Almost a 5-inch height advantage for Corrales. Big right hand by Freitas and a countering right by Corrales. But I think Freitas got the better. Corrales going to the jab now. Couple of lefts again by Acelino Freitas.
You know, Freitas is getting away early in this match with those wild, wide left hooks. Whether that'll continue remains to be seen, but as long as he gets away with it, he'll throw it. You know, we've seen many fights before where those unorthodox punches, Steve, don't get countered by people.
Again, a series of wide shots, but we'll see if Corrales can counter with a straight right hand. Corrales unleashes a nice left hook to the jaw.
Best punch of the fight for Corrales, by far. He's getting the whole package of the unorthodox Acelino Freitas in his first 2 rounds, and it's a loadful to handle, and the Corrales is having a little bit of a hard time landing those punches, although he's had a better second round.
Yeah, it may be a relief, as you said, for Chico not to be facing a southpaw, but he does have a load in front of him here at Freitas. Freitas with a smacking left upstairs. That left has really found a home here in the first 2 rounds.
Very close second round, though. This would be one of those that if this goes the distance, we'll look back on this round and it could be pivotal in a certain way.
The elusive Acelino Freitas slipping punches. Oh, a hard left on the inside by Diego Corrales. That certainly got Freitas' attention. Freitas still dancing around. As Corrales' trainer, Joe Goosen, had to predict it. Now Freitas digging to the body. Freitas really up on his toes. Corrales more flat-footed. Our translator is Anibal Miramontes, translating the Portuguese spoken in the corner of Freitas.
You need to get more concentration. Breathe.
Vamos a concentrar un poquillo más con el golpe al pecho.
We're going to concentrate a little more with the punch on the chest. You need to cross it. You need to cross it.
La mano no me la saque, porque quiero por dentro directo. Ese jab muy
Early in the
duro,
round,
rápido.
Acelino Freitas was able to get this lead right hand in, and he's, well, actually followed a jab, and that's the kind of rights that he landed pretty well early. But the left hook of Corrales, a very important weapon for him. There's a nice, short, compact one. Maybe his best punch of the fight.
Ya sabes, okay? Maestro aquí boxeo.
It is round 3 scheduled for 12 for the WBO Lightweight Championship. Acelino Freitas in the gold trunks with the red trim. Nice combination to the head by Freitas. Corrales in the white with the black trim. Freitas 35-0 with 31 knockouts. Corrales 38-2, 31 knockouts. The Brazilians and the Freitas fans chanting Acelino's name. Popo, his nickname.
I'm sure Chico Corrales didn't expect the crowd to be this partisan on behalf of Freitas. Obviously, Brazilians come out from whatever community Freitas fights in, and right now they're very much on his side.
There is a heavy population of Brazilians in the Boston area, which is not far from Foxwoods. And when Freitas fights, always a strong contingent of Brazilian fans on hand, and they always drown out the competition.
Corrales landed a very nice straight right hand a moment ago. Now, one thing we've seen from Freitas, and this speaks to what Joe Goosen suggested, he said he'd test his power early, test Corrales' power early, then move. One of the things that's happening now, though, is Freitas is moving well, but not landing that many punches, as he was in the first round and a half.
Freitas doesn't want to fight going backwards. Usually successful when he stops, leaps in, and lands his power shots. The right hand. Corrales can fight going in either direction. He's had success. Of course, a key for Chico when he attacks, got to remember the defense, particularly versus someone with Freitas' power. Again, so much movement by Acelino Freitas. Moves to the left, moves to the right. Never in one place. Right hand to the chest area by Freitas.
That was an excellent right hand, and I think that momentarily stunned Diego Corrales, had an impact on him. The hand speed of Freitas right now, better, I think, than Chico Corrales expected.
And the foot speed as well. That's what's really doing a number on Corrales here. Freitas looking so confident.
Can Freitas sustain this over the course of 12 rounds? There's a lot of energy being expended, both in movement and punching, and it's a very, very active performance. Certainly more active, for instance, than we saw against Gregorian the last time he appeared on Showtime.
Freitas fueled by emotion, fueled by the fans. Missed with the right hand, bouncing off the ropes. There's a left-right combination and answer with a right hand by Chico Corrales upstairs, but Freitas eluded that last series of attempts by Corrales.
Stay inside the shoulder. You got to put a little bit more up and down pressure. You got to get a little bit cuter on him. You know what I mean? Because he's going to keep running like that. So you got to start forcing him. Okay, but force smart. Don't run in at him. But I want you to keep that perpetual motion coming. Just try to feint a little bit, come back, try to draw him into some punches.
Where my head? Where my head? Where my head?
Rub it?
Wet me.
Oh. Okay.
Diego Corrales, his left hand, you'll see it right here, will be a good countering shot as the left hand of Freitas came in, and then Corrales got him with a good left hand. And for Acelino Freitas, a good straight right hand up the middle. That's been the story of this fight, really, for Freitas.
It is round 4. We were talking to Joel Casamayor, who's fought both these guys. He told us he felt Corrales would go down in this fight, but would get off the canvas to win, using his smarts against the Brazilian Acelino Freitas. We shall see.
A little low. Keep him up. Let's go.
Both fighters recently showing that they are not one-dimensional. Of course, they rely heavily on their power, but they've also shown that they have good technical skills in their last few fights.
Freitas is convinced that Corrales is more one-dimensional than him, and I think he believes he has the edge in hand speed. Now, we saw Corrales against Casamaro box well with using the jab. He's not been able to land the jab, and in this sequence, we see why. Freitas has given him such good lateral movement that Corrales just can't get that jab in to slow him down.
Corrales digging to the midsection as he was holding him with the left hand. Freitas picking his shots, missing wildly with those attempts.
Diego Corrales must make Freitas pay when he does all that wild missing, and he is not. He didn't even look to counter Freitas.
Watch your head inside. Suéltalo.
Look at Freitas on the ropes making Corrales miss. So far, the headline of this fight is the defense and elusiveness of Acelino Freitas.
That left hand was blocked by the glove of Corrales. Oh, that was Corrales who got burned. It looked like Corrales was on the march, but a beautiful countering shot by Freitas.
We talked before the fight about the counter right hands of Acelino Freitas. That was a beauty about 15 seconds ago, and I'll tell you what, that landed flush in the head of Corrales.
Just corkscrewed his head. Again now Corrales going to the body. We approach 30 seconds remaining in round 4, scheduled for 12.
I mentioned a 7-month layoff of Freitas. No indication that that's a problem. In his own unorthodox way, he's been as sharp as a tack.
And he dominated his last victim, Artur Grigorian, the longtime lightweight champ, with 4 knockdowns, although a couple of them were questionable. But still, it was all pulpo. We head for the bell in round 4. Nice sequence by Corrales.
Freitas moving not quite so quickly in the last 30 seconds of the round.
Como estão? Bem, tranquilo.
Breathe.
Lembra, você tem que trabalhar pouco mais no corpo dele, entendeu? Você começa na cara.
You need to stop. You need to stop running.
Começamos no corpo, terminando em cima. Mas não vamos buscar somente a cabeça dele, ok?
Stop looking to punch in his head. You need to stop hitting higher. Okay, breathe. Are you okay? Are you okay? Stop go head hunting. You need to hit the body. Cross to the body. Stop head hunting.
I know. I'm going to tell the ref right now. Okay. Hey, Mike.
Mike, you gotta ring that bell loud because there's a bell back there. I can't hear. He's bending down low.
Well, that's legal though.
Acelino Freitas expending a lot of energy through the first 4 rounds. We'll see what happens from this point on. They seem very concerned in his corner about his wind. And a body shot with the left hand by Acelino Freitas, who continues to move around a lot. Joe Goosen concerned that Freitas was pulling Corrales' head down. And then Michael Ortega, the referee, spinning back to Goosen. Well, Corrales is bending down too low, but Goosen said, well, that's legal.
You know, this is a very frenetic but effective performance by Acelino Freitas, but it does lead one to say that will this adrenaline wear off? Will he slow down? And will he be a target for Corrales, who just threw a low left hand? But not a bad idea for Corrales to get downstairs to the body, which he has not done very effectively so far in this bout.
The press row scores: Greg Leon from BoxingTalk.com, Franklin McNeil, Newark Star Ledger, Terry Price, Hartford Current. They've all got the Freitas ahead.
I have it 39-37 for Freitas, so I'm pretty much in the mix with what they have.
Right hand off the top of the head by Corrales. That stunned Freitas momentarily. Corrales showing some signs all of a sudden here. But the movement continues by Freitas, who eludes those tries by Corrales.
You know, it's interesting. Freitas told us, you'll see in the hook, a nice hook on the inside by Corrales. That was a superb punch.
A mouthpiece comes flying out of Freitas' mouth.
Bad break for Corrales because he had him hurt. That's what sent the mouthpiece out.
They take the time to clean it off during a lull. That's the rule, and now Michael Ortega brings him back in.
Freitas told us, you'll see my strategy in the first minute of the first round, but actually it's been just the opposite. In the first minute of the first round, he was very aggressive, and Joe Goosen's thought was right. Then he decided to be a complete boxer. So a very different strategy since that first minute.
Freitas missing wildly again, and Corrales not jumping on the opportunity.
Corrales is starting, though, to find the range with that left hook. You see how he's countering with the left when Freitas throws the right hand. And he landed a very good one early in this round. But he's still being outworked by Freitas.
But a stalking Chico Corrales continues to move forward. Measuring Popo out. But Freitas just so fast with the hands. And Acelino just continues to bounce around. Nice right hand just before the bell by Freitas to the jaw.
Every so often, use that little lead right hand, and then when you get close, surprise them. But if you're going to use that lead right hand, drop that chin good. Got it, okay? The right hand's starting to catch up with him a little bit. And your counter left hook. Okay, when he starts going to the body, that left hook's catching him. He'll sometimes throw it up. You know, you knocked his mouthpiece out with that left uppercut.
Feel like you go 15, baby? Oh, all right, let's do 15 then.
Again.
Well, this is what Joe Goosen was describing to Diego Corrales, this left half hook, half uppercut that would knock the mouthpiece of Freitas out as they were working on the inside. There it was, a good short left hook, and the mouthpiece flew right out, and it was a good break for Freitas that the referee stopped the action so quickly because Corrales was on the attack.
There are welts on the neck of Chico Corrales. I see it on the right side from a headlock by Acelino Freitas. Something Joe Goosen was complaining about earlier.
Nice little uppercut by Freitas, and then the jab of Corrales. Corrales will really, when he looks back at the tapes of this fight, will be very distressed that over the first half of this fight he couldn't get the jab in better.
Well, countering shot there by Acelino Freitas.
Corrales, upon the advice of Joe Goosen, really going back to that left hook, and I tell you, if I was Corrales, I would be throwing that punch as much as possible.
Here's somewhat of a surprise, Al. We're in the 6th round, no knockdowns yet.
Yeah, but a very active and spirited fight.
No question about that. It has been entertaining.
Double left hook downstairs by Corrales, and that's something I suspect they would have wanted him to start earlier in this fight, but it's still a very effective idea.
Freitas continues to hammer away with combinations, and then he instantly gets out of range. Both combatants missing there.
In an unofficial poll of 75 fighters and media people and promoters and all the rest, 45 picked Corrales to win and 30 picked Freitas. So it's interesting, a split though, more people going for Corrales. But
nice right hand by Freitas.
What they're watching here tonight may be changing their mind.
And better than 3,000 fans here in the arena want Freitas. Most of them do.
Don't grab him behind the head. Don't grab
him. Caution by referee Michael Ortega. Freitas grabbing once again behind Corrales' head.
Well, it's no secret Diego Corrales has issues with boxers who have good lateral movement. And in this fight, it's been all about lateral movement for Acelino Freitas, and that has been the one thing that has bedeviled Corrales.
Here's Chico Corrales opening up.
Keep those punches up. Let's go.
A low blow by Corrales being warned by referee Ortega. There's a nice right hand, an unorthodox right. One of those look-away shots by Acelino Freitas.
It's about hand speed right now, Steve. He's quicker than Corrales with his hands.
But back comes Chico Corrales looking to corner Freitas. 15 seconds left in round 6.
That mic'd up.
The focus in the eyes of Chico Corrales. Another right hand by Freitas bouncing off the noggin of Corrales.
Okay.
In the keys to victory, we said that the right hand would be a very important punch for Acelino Freitas if he was to do well. Well, it has been. He has landed a series of right hands throughout this fight. Some have been lead right, some have come after a jab like that one. Some have been straight, some have been wide, but for Freitas, that right hand has landed. Look at that counter right hand. And give Corrales credit, he has sustained through those punches because some of those are hard enough, I think, to have created a knockdown.
Ok, a la velocidad y consciente de todo, limitando el cruzado. Hay que limitar ese cruzado para que pueda. Ahora, si lo limitamos,
and limited when you don't throw all cross hands. You need to stop throwing all the hands. You need to try to surprise him.
Well, there you have it. Our translator, Anibal Miramontes, helping us along with the Portuguese. It's been a steady diet of right hands by Acelino Freitas. Why not surprise him with the left? Were the instructions in Popo's corner. Let's see what happens. Boy, look at this combination. Left, right, upstairs. Both of them connected by the Brazilian. Freitas with the great hand speed, the great right hand. Chico Corrales with the terrific chin.
You know, Acelino Freitas, and you've done so many of his punches or his fights early on, really considered a power puncher. Not considered a very good boxer, not considered the boxer-puncher type. But he has really reinvented himself, and now he is very much the boxer-puncher, but Steve still has the power that he had before.
He has really become the complete fighter. Not one-dimensional whatsoever as Corrales goes on the attack. But a quick escape by Acelino Freitas. Here's the press row story. It is close, except for Franklin McNeil of the Newark Star-Ledger, who has Freitas up by 6 points.
Well, I have Freitas at 59-55, so I'm a little more in his category. Certainly Corrales has landed some big power punches, though, and that may have an impact. Some of his punches have been very strong, and I just think more punches have been landed by Freitas.
Freitas complaining to referee Michael Ortega about possible low blows. Ortega, the son of a fighter named Gaspar Indian Ortega, who had 176 fights. Only knocked out twice, once in his lone world title fight to Amir Griffin. We approach the final minute, round 7.
Corrales has been a little bit more effective in pushing Freitas back, but still has been countered a lot. And again, we point out here in round 7, all the energy expended by Freitas, we have to keep a very close eye on him to see if he could sustain this pace.
Stay off his neck, all right?
You heard the warning by referee Ortega to Freitas, stay off the neck of Chico. Look at the quickness and speed of Acelino Freitas. And then a countering right hand up top by Corrales.
You know, Corrales believes that one punch can change this fight for him, and he better believe it now because he's going to need that.
A series of punches by Freitas. Freitas pouring it on at the end of round 7. Back comes a left hook by Corrales, but that sequence dominated by Acelino Freitas.
But I'm not sure that left hook didn't stun Freitas momentarily.
They're ringing the bell, and there are a few seconds left. I heard the bell. Now they get it. Michael Ortega couldn't hear the bell.
Listen.
Lembra, Papó? Que você vai triste com ele, imediatamente você gira para a costa dele e empurra ele para a corda. Não fica você na corda.
You need to stop moving from the same sides.
Ok? Não fique I want you to fucking get it together and do exactly what you were doing. You're starting to catch him with that right uppercut. You stop using the jab at the end. You got him with the right hand. So here we go again. I want that right uppercut, left uppercut, working on him.
Toward the end of that round, great exchange between these two boxers. The left hook and the straight right by Freitas, in fact, a three-punch combination. Corrales wanted this kind of action and encouraged it with Freitas, kind of urging him to come in, but there's the left hook toward the end of the round that I think kind of momentarily pushed Freitas back. But you can see that was his fighter microcosm. More punches being landed by Freitas.
It is round 8, scheduled for 12 for the WBO Lightweight title. Things really getting interesting now. Freitas still bouncing around.
You know, both these men are undefeated, 3-0 when they get to a 12-round decision. So it is conceivable someone's record will change in that regard if we don't see a draw.
Fans of Corrales chanting Chico being drowned out by the Coco fans. They're trying to urge Corrales on here in the 8th.
Freitas landed a right hand a moment ago, then moved away, reset. He's looking to reload every time and then find a different spot. And once Corrales is ready to punch, he's not there. There's an example of it.
Freitas moving side to side, moving back, moving forward. Coming in from different angles, trying to confuse Chico Corrales. It has been exquisite strategy of late that has worked for Freitas, but there's a countering left hook by Corrales out of nowhere.
From a right hand to the body by Freitas, over it came the left hook of Corrales.
Well, that had to give Corrales a lot of confidence.
And now, for the first time, Freitas holding on in this fight.
You wonder if he is starting to get tired. All the running around.
Getting caught against the ropes is Freitas.
Freitas in trouble, down he goes.
Rico, 6, 7, 8, ven aquí.
Acelino Freitas down for the 6th time in his career. He got up quickly.
Come here.
And they're distressed in the corner of Corrales, and Corrales is distressed because it took the referee so long to get the mouthpiece. This gives Freitas an extra break, and they are just beside themselves in the Corrales group.
Joe Goodson is irate. Corrales' trainer is livid. We continue now. Final seconds of round 8. Here you see it now, 25 seconds. Acelino Freitas running.
He was down twice against Barrios, got up to win by knockout, so you can't count Acelino Freitas out no matter who hits him. And look, he's regaining that boxing ability right now.
So quite a recovery by Freitas after being knocked down here in the 8th round. Huge round for Corrales.
Joe, I got to replace the mouthpiece.
Okay, breathe.
I got it.
Okay, don't worry. We're doing okay. What's a lucky punch? We're doing okay. Don't worry about that punch. Listen to me. Remember, he's the champion.
Well, here's where the evening changed for Diego Corrales for the better. Freitas had been hurt earlier by a left hook to the head, and here is where that left and a right hand by Corrales sent Freitas down. Freitas' lack of movement created that. He got a little tired, he's languished on the ropes, and he was nailed with these punches. Corrales still missing, but that right hand got there, and boy, Freitas is lucky the last right hand didn't land when he was falling.
Well, there is knockdown number 1. And Acelino Freitas trying to come back with a huge overhand right.
And he took a left hook for his trouble. The wider Freitas' punches get, the more he thinks he has to be a puncher. And they suggested to him, you're not, you're the champion in that corner, meaning that Corrales has to come to him. And by the way, this might be a good time to remind people, Corrales gave up his junior lightweight title to fight for this title. So he's a man without a country should he lose this fight.
So a big gamble by Chico Corrales, but he's got to be feeling a lot better about things after that last round. Corrales' punches are landing with more regularity now as Freitas looks vulnerable all of a sudden.
And while we're still seeing movement from Freitas, we're not seeing as many punches come back from him. Corrales has to be very careful, though. He can't be lulled into thinking, just because he knocked him down once, that he can't be busy in these rounds. He needs to be.
And remember, Diego Corrales has been down 8 times in his career. 5 versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., 3 times in 2 fights with Joe Casamayor. Corrales losing the first, winning the rematch. It's tightening up along Fresh Row. Terry Price of the Hartford Current now has it all even.
And that's exactly the way I have it. I have an even fight right now. But you can make the case for Freitas maybe being a point or 2 ahead still.
Corrales coming back, using that jab, following it up with a nice right.
This is a much more effective Diego Corrales. The jab's helping him. He's going to the body a little bit more, and less offense coming from Acelino Freitas than we saw earlier.
So the first half of the fight, Acelino Freitas in charge, and now Diego Corrales with the momentum.
There's the jab. Yeah, Corrales now, the punch that he used so effectively against Casamayor, very effective now. And that right hand that missed over the head of Corrales by Freitas, a very telling point. That was thrown very wide, kind of lazily, not like we've seen him throw the right hands earlier.
Well, Corrales did say his jab and his hooks would be keys.
You have to love matches like this with all these ebbs and flows. There are so many different plot changes here.
A lot of drama, a very competitive, entertaining affair here. Right hand down goes Freitas again.
5, 6, 7, 8. Ven aquí. Okay? Now, time. 1 point, mouthpiece. 1 point, mouthpiece. 1 point, mouthpiece.
Make matters worse for Freitas. Michael Ortega deducting a point for excessive loss of the mouthpiece.
Hey, he can't be doing this. He's going to get disqualified. Put it in. Put it in. Time in. Bucks.
It's a call we don't see very often, but it could come back to haunt Freitas.
Great job by referee Michael Ortega. That was appropriate.
Remember what I told you about the straight right hand? No, you stay in there for that right hand. Come on, you're smarter than him. I told you about that. Come, breathe a lot.
This right hand from Diego Corrales ended up making this a 10-7 round, and the reason for that is because not only did it create a knockdown as it landed right on the point of the chin, but because the mouthpiece went out, referee Ortega took an extra point away from Acelino Freitas. Freitas throwing the right to the body and getting countered. This match is all about people countering with big shots. 2 of them from Corrales have created knockdowns.
That was a resounding right hand by Chico Corrales. A 10-7 round is now pointed out in favor of Corrales, who has been coming back with a vengeance. We're into round 10, scheduled for 12. It has turned out to be an outstanding fight. Chico being extra cautious. He's been down 2 times, 7 times in his career. Again, fighting off the ropes, which is dangerous.
He is languishing on the ropes with his hands down, and if he continues to do that, he'll get it with a big left hook or another one of those right hands. Good combo, though, by Freitas.
Freitas coming back there. Doesn't seem to phase the rock-jawed Chico Corrales, missing there with a right, looking to end it on 1 punch. Beautiful combination. Quick hands by Corrales upstairs. Now he's coming through with the jab.
You can make the call.
Oh, a countering left hand to the nose by Freitas.
And Corrales with a good combination as well.
Oh, Freitas is down for the 3rd time.
2005, 2006, 2007, 2008.
And he's got a minute 35. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He's done. It's over, and Corrales wins it. Diego Corrales wins it in the 10th. As Popo Freitas says, no mas, no mas. After he goes down for the 3rd time of the fight, Diego Chico Corrales at 124 of round 10 unofficially is the new WBO Lightweight Champion of the world.
He persevered through the early, brilliant boxing display of Acelino Freitas. Didn't lose his concentration or his poise.
First loss in the career of Acelino Freitas in 36 fights.
He had been knocked down 3 times, and after the 3rd one, just didn't want to continue anymore. He took some hellacious shots from Diego Corrales.
And what a moment for Corrales.
Look what we did. Look at my team. Look at my squad.
Corrales had already hurt Freitas with a couple of good combinations. And then as Freitas retreated to the ropes, he will get nailed with this right hand. That one actually on the back of the ear, I think it hurt his equilibrium, but he'd already been hurt really just previous to that in a big exchange. And that right hand knocked him down, and you see Freitas already showing signs that he doesn't want to continue, and now thinks about it and says, no, I can't go on. That a little bit surprising from a fighter who has been a warrior, though, you know, it's hard to second guess someone who took big punishment with 3 knockdowns. We looked from the top, and here was where that right hand, and actually that was a superb right hand that landed on the ear area of Freitas. And after this 3rd knockdown, you can see he's thinking about whether this should continue at all. And so those early brilliant rounds go for naught for Acelino Freitas because the power of Corrales ultimately wins the day.
Freitas waving it off. What a stunning, dramatic way for this fight to end. And look at the jubilation with Corrales. No mas, no mas. All over again. How will they react in his native Brazil to what Freitas did tonight? Will he go overnight from hero to GOAT?
It was certainly an excellent effort for the most part on his part. And also, you can say, and there's Eliana, who is consoling him. She herself had issues this week with the emergency appendectomy.
So Eliana Freitas comforting a very emotional Acelino Freitas. Let's get the official word from our man, ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
No, I told you when you came aboard, we'd get all the belts. That's what I told you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 24 seconds in round number 10. A referee in charge, Michael Ortega, acknowledges the fighter and his request, and a referee stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout and new WBO Lightweight Champion of the world, Diego Chico
So a defining moment in the career of Diego Chico Corrales. A shock to Popo Freitas' fans as Freitas leaves the ring. Freitas quitting in round 10, deciding he didn't want to take any more punishment from Diego Chico Corrales after being put to the canvas on 3 occasions. Let's get it up to Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. As we see Popo Freitas leaving the ring, Diego, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Your assessment tonight, it seemed as though you were having trouble with Freitas early with his lateral movement and all of his activity. What turned this fight around?
Actually, it was just taking my time, biding my time. We had our game plan. We knew the early rounds, keep the pace, keep things strong. My pace has been strong. We've worked hard. So we knew keep the pressure on, keep the pace, work behind the jab, work behind the head movement, and pound the body. So that's all we did. We took our time, and by the time we had 12 rounds, 45 minutes worth of fighting to do. So that's a lot of time to run.
So you did figure that he was going to tire out with all that movement?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't keep that kind of pace up. I was coming really hard, and I'm pounding to the body as much as possible, and you're missing shots too. So we were prepared for that kind of fight.
And then you connected with him in the 8th round with your first of the 3 knockdowns. Tell us about what happened there in the 8th round, and it seemed as though he got more than 30 seconds because he spit out his mouthpiece the first of 2 times.
Yeah, you know, it just keeping my eye on the prize. Like, I kept my eye in there, kept everything nice and calm and composed. I kept my defense real tight, and I was catching shots down the middle, down the pipe. I knew, you know, in the later rounds was where it was going to happen at. We worked on the straight shots down the pipe, keeping our hands tight, and that's exactly what played out. In all 3 knockdowns, it was nothing but simple fundamentals, hands high, shots down the pipe.
Were you surprised that he quit? No mas?
Here's the history repeating itself. You know, I was shocked, yeah.
Let me ask you, your corner was very upset, Joe Goosen and your gang over there, as were you, when he spit out the mouthpiece the 2nd time. He got a point penalty, but did you think it should have been more severe for the actions that had happened?
No, because, I mean, I want the ability to take care of my own job. I want to go in and do my job. Do I feel he should have been penalized? Yes, he was penalized. I'm happy with that. The referee did a great job of maintaining things. I leave it in the referee's hands every time. You know, if a foul comes up, it's the referee's job to take care of it. The referee did a great job. You can't say anything about it.
What do you want to do now? You've moved up in weight class. What are your plans now to do with this title?
You know, you've got a lot of great champions out there. I'd love to see them all. Like I said, I'm here to clean up this division. I really want to prove that I am the best in this division. It all comes down to proving it, and I'm going to put mine on the line. I want to know if everybody else wants to too.
Final thought, Diego. When you lost to Mayweather back January 20th, 2001, you took 2 years off. Did you ever feel you would be back in this position?
I had faith, and I had a great wife that when I did start to lose a little faith, she kind of reinforced it for me, helped me remember what I am and what I can do.
Diego, tremendous performance tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right. Back to you, Steve Albert.
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it. Up your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that, hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the